Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rumble and Roar podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm your host, Lenoria. And Shayna says she's not going to be introducing herself all the time. She said, y'all should know who she is.
Yeah, I know. Well, we just going to start coming on here and be like, hey guys, that's
What's
it.
up? What's
That's
up?
it. Period.
Yes. But this is,
Shayna.
she introduced herself anyway. Today we are going to talk about when do you think it's a good time? How are we gonna word this?
So yeah, like when do you think it's a good time in like a child's life to tell them something that could be life changing, even if it's detrimental?
Yeah.
Anything. So like for me, I think that children are very resilient.
They are.
They can handle more than you know.
Yeah, true.
And I think it's best to just go ahead and tell them, because to me, if you wait until they're grown and it's just like, oh, guess what? Yeah, the guy that's been raising you your whole life, that's not really your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so I watch a lot of Paternity Court, okay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I be seeing grown people 35, 40 years old, and they're just like, yeah, so my mom basically lied about who my dad was my whole life. This person raised me. He's been my dad. And then yesterday she told me that's not my dad.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, that is so gut wrenching. Like I'm grown. Like, what if something would have happened to me where I needed like blood or something and you couldn't give it to me, but when I go and like the person that's my dad gets a blood test and it's just like, yeah, I can't give you blood neither. And I'm finding out this way. Like that's crazy to me. I think you should go ahead and tell them, let them deal with it, process it, however they want to process it, and they can grow up. They won't grow up to resent you.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I feel total opposite.
Okay.
Total opposite, because I do work with children. And you are so right. They are resilient. All children, yeah. And however, a happy child can walk a mile with a smile if you take a while to teach them positively through this journey called life. That is my motto. You will hear me say that a lot when it has to do with children. And the reason my motto is that is because as a child, to me, just my opinion, of course, you can feel different and you can feel different. It's all good. Everybody have their opinion. But me, and I look at myself, even when I was a child, and the things that I have gone through in life, and I've been around for a minute, I would rather just be okay as a child. A child should be happy, having fun, learning, carefree, no worries. You shouldn't be using their social security number, messing them up before they can get up. I went there. You shouldn't be doing stuff to mess them up before they get an opportunity to just put a foot into the world. Don't do it. Let a child be a child. A happy, smiling child going through this journey until they get to the point where they got to go to the next level. Let them do it with ease. Don't mess them up in the beginning. Let me see.
But what? So, okay, when we're talking about a child, like, do we have an age range, or are we talking about anything under 18?
A child is 18 and under when it comes to what? In America, it's 18 and under as an adult, correct? Mm-hmm. And in Georgia, I think it's 17 and under.
Well, yeah, because 18, you're an adult.
Okay.
So 17 and under, you're a child.
But some 17-year-olds is adult here in Atlanta, in Georgia, I think.
Yeah, when you commit crimes.
There you go. Because I know it came up once or twice.
You can be 14 and commit a crime. You can be.
But this is the reason I feel the way I feel is because, when you are in kindergarten and you were just happy playing with your friends, you're going through some things and learning, period. You are learning and picking up stuff. And then second grade, you're knowing friends and you're already going through with your hormones and then, oh my goodness, middle school, oh goodness. That's, to me, and a lot of kids would say that's the worst, middle school. And then high school, that's a whole different entity. All of these things you have to go through life. Why would you go to your child and tell them something detrimental, something just absolutely crazy to mess their heads up? And every thought that they have, every time they sit and try to think of something nice and friendly and calm, in the back of their head is that what you put in their head. Your mom is a whore, and she's a prostitute, and
No,
she stays.
wait, because no. Why on earth
Would you tell your
child-
mom that tell your child your mother's
Yeah,
a whore?
no.
Okay,
Let's-
you might
let's
not
do
say
an
she's a
example,
whore,
please.
but what? Well, let's do easy stuff. Let's say, well, your mom, just didn't want. She couldn't handle raising children because she wasn't ready. So she allowed you to go stay with your aunt. Now, your aunt, now if you're just living with them and you're the aunt, tell them that you're the aunt. Don't be lying and saying you're the
So
mother.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
So
you can't lie to them and say you're the mother. But if you adopt a child and you are their mother and you are their father, I do believe every child should know their biological family.
Right. So let's look at that movie. Have you ever seen the movie Jump in the Broom?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that movie, first of all, she found out from his nosy ass mama,
Yes.
which was messed up. But did you see the
Hurt. Mm-hmm.
It was just like, I have lived my whole life. Like, y'all are my parents. And she is my favorite aunt. Like, me and her
Right.
kick it, like,
And that's really my mother. That's a different scenario. See, I and it's just my opinion. I just feel like you don't, if you're the auntie and your sister raised, you can say, okay, look, I'm auntie, this is your mom. She is in a bad way. She is psychologically not able to do certain things. To tell the truth that way, I think and I believe, because I try to put myself in those shoes, I could receive that and think about, okay, well, I'm living with auntie because mom's over here really in a bad way. Don't lie and say I'm your mother and here's my mom right here. Let me know she's my mom, but I can clearly see she can't keep me, and that's why I'm staying with grandma or auntie.
But that's the question. Like, when do you say to them? When do you say that?
You can say that at birth. You can say that at birth.
Okay.
But this is how I feel. If you adopt a child, if you adopt them, and you are mom and dad, to tell them we are not your biological parents at an early age, that's going to stick with them all of their lives.
But okay, so but
And
I
what-
don't know. I would rather avoid the hurt later in life, because now it's like, oh, not only did y'all lie to me, y'all lied to me my whole life.
But guess what? You will be able to handle it better at 18.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that children can process. I don't think that it will be something super detrimental unless you're like, okay, yeah, we adopted you. We're not your biological parents.
And do you not think that every time see, I gotta for myself, you know, I have to that is well, like I was saying, I just believe that telling a child something at an early age, Shayna, I might be just different from a whole bunch of people. I always try to look at myself and what would I like. But just because I would like it doesn't mean it's good for it. You know what I mean? But I just believe that just let me grow up. Let me be real happy. Because like on my interview, I think Nicole interviewed me. And like I said, no, it wasn't Nicole. It was Taylor. A child is going to hurt no matter what. They're going to hurt in the beginning, or they're going to hurt in the end, or they're going to hurt. It's going to make them feel some kind of way once they hear it. You're a human being. But if I'm going to hurt, I would rather you hurt me if I absolutely had to choose, you know, some hurt. Wait until I'm an adult so I can at least try and process it better. Even though we're resilient as little children, we bounce back and we actually try and forget about things. But once you get to an age where you can actually really process it and think about it, then it's like, oh my gosh, I think that it would hinder things that need to get in from getting in, because your process of thinking is on what was told to you, when that shouldn't even be in your mind at all. You need to be just a happy go lucky child, no bills, no worries, no nothing, just going through school and doing the things that you can't control, like your period, your hormones, adolescence, boyfriends breaking up with you, girlfriends not talking to you, those simple things that happen. Let that be all. That, I think it's a bad indictment that you would have to sit and have all of that stuff to go on, because we're older, so we might have forgotten how those were serious things and bad things to me when I was in middle school, and I fell out with a friend or my boyfriend and want to talk, something like that. And then I'm thinking in the back of my head, with that, plus my mom just told me, not just told me, my mom told me when I was, I'm not going to say 2 or 3, let's just say 5 maybe, that I'm not your biological parent and neither is your father. And just want you to know, just in case, you just need to know. I'm just trying to wonder, what do anyone want a 5-year-old to do with that information? What can they do with that information? Just know it?
But
they can't even process it.
Think about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, as a child, really, you don't have bills, you don't have all this extra stress.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, you do.
Yes.
So you already have X, Y, and Z going on in your life. Now, here comes this. So what happens if this child resents you because they feel like I said, you've been lying to me my whole life?
I would rather my child resent me at 16, if it's gonna happen, because they will resent you from the beginning. When
I don't think so. I don't think a 5-year-old child, like if you're telling this child something at 5 or 6 or 7, I don't think they're gonna resent you, because I don't think that they. Like, to me, it just gives them a little bit more time to process it. Like, you're processing it while you have absolutely no cares in the world right now.
But now they have a care. Now they have a problem, which is a thought.
Be a problem, though, because you can decide once you get older, hey, I do want to meet them. Because at the end of the day, you still like, okay, well, this is still my mom and my dad.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, okay, yeah.
At the end of the day, just like what you just said, it's still my mom and dad. When you tell them that as a young child, they're going through school, they're going through other things, they're trying to just develop and learn, but they got that in the back of their head, probably at the forefront of their head. Everything just invading their thoughts, like sitting there at family reunions, sitting there at different things thinking, wait a minute, my mom told me that they're not my biological parents, so these are really not my cousins, and this is really not this, and this is really not. Why in the world would someone want to put that on a child? Now, yes, when you become an adult and you tell an 18-year-old, well, let me tell you something. I want to pull you to the side and tell you something. Yes, they do have those bills. Yes, they might be in college at the time. Yes, they are all of the above that you were saying. However, when if you told me something at 18, I can process that a little better. No matter what, I might be angry. I might be like, what? Oh, this is unacceptable, and I will or might resent you. I might. However, what I will know is that from birth until this day right here, I was the happiest child on the planet. I got everything I wanted. It's not about material. I was loved. I was happy. I was just attention. I was taught. I was raised without anything in my head invading my thoughts. I was happy. So at 18 now, oh my gosh, you might even say, well, all of that was a lie. No, it wasn't. You cannot fake love. Love is love.
I think that they just feel like it was a lie. Not saying that the way you brought them up was a lie or anything like that. Just
you're not telling them is a lie.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, lying by omission.
To me, lying is never wanting to tell them. That's not right.
Sometimes you can tell a story to somebody and maybe leave a certain part out.
Yeah.
If you left that certain part out, you're lying by omitting that part.
Right.
So you're still lying because you didn't tell the whole truth.
That's true.
But what is something? Okay, so let's say a family member died.
Mm-hmm.
You would tell a child that?
Let's see.
Because they're never gonna see this person again.
I would tell them.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what?
But
is
but
the difference?
it depends on how young they are, and the difference is because they can never ever see that person again, and they know that they died, and nothing could come up of that. Nothing could come up of that ever. They're dead. They're gone. Something could come up. Never even thought about.
That's what I'm saying. So it's in certain circumstances, you never know what can happen down the line. So to me, it's better to just go ahead and put it all on the table,
Mhm.
and that way we can deal with it together
Yeah.
as a family. Whatever you need, like
to
you know that I'm
say
here
it
for
that
you.
way, that nobody ever even I've never even thought about that, or nobody even said anything like that. So that's a good point,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I
because
said,
that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
right. Like,
Yeah.
okay, now I want to get to know these people, and
And they're not alive.
But I have a question about what y'all talking about.
Oh, okay. We gotta,
So what if, like you said, you kept it from them and then they wanted to meet him? Okay. What if your child wanted to meet him and then they met him, and then the mother was, excuse my French, an ass? Now, what do you do with your child?
yeah, so that's a conversation that y'all need to have. I mean, because at the end of the day, you have to support. Hey, this is what you want to do. I'm gonna be here for you because you want to be. That's your right
Mm-hmm.
to meet her. Now, how she treated you, I'm gonna have to go be her ass.
see,
But
mm-mm.
you know, I'm still your mom at the end of the day, and I've been your mom. It's not like I've been a shitty mom to you.
Right.
I've been your mom, and it's your right to meet your birth mom.
Mhm.
And you know, glad she showed you her true colors because
Yeah, I never thought about that, Shayna.
Yeah.
You know what? You know how I am with children.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. I am a nurturer. I'm a protector. I am going to protect that baby at all costs. And if I see where that baby is going to be sad or in any kind of way that's not right, it's like,
yeah.
no. But I never thought about what you're saying. All I knew is that I just wanted to protect. So, yeah, you're right. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and children kind of know, like, you can give them choices. Like, I just don't like when people just be like, hey, I'm your mama, and this what I say, and this what we gonna do. Sometimes, like, especially now, like, you really have to talk to these kids. These are different kids.
But no, it would never. Now, if I was making a choice like that, it would never be, oh, well, I'm just your mom and I'm going to make this choice for you or whatever. No. If I was to ever do something like that, it would solely be for a protection, or I'm not going to let you get hurt, or I don't want you to get hurt, or this is just I'm thinking back on, like I said, how I grew up, and I just don't want, I'm like this with them kids, you know how I am. So I don't know. But what you just said was so good. So good. Did you have something to say?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, because I just believe that I thought until now that it would have been, it's just a good idea not to say anything to children. Babies, my babies.
Okay, so like you said, I can't think of it all the way, but you were talking about how the child would be adopted, they grow up, and then they find out later that, they want to meet the parent is passed. What if the parent is alive, like we talked about? And how do I word it? It's more damaging to the kid. Do you feel like it would be more damaging to take your child and put them in front of a person who 9 times out of 10 did not want a kid? And if you did, you have personal issues, that's why you do that. But 9 times out of 10, you just didn't want the child. You're taking this child, and now you're having this woman who has to look at this child, who knows, I did this. I don't really want to face it. And now your child is looking at that, and kids can peep that. Kids can peep when you're not liking them. Kids can see through that. So now you're having your child sit here in front of this woman, and child can tell when you're lying. You don't, personally, because I've had experiences, y'all don't think that'd be more detrimental to that child?
I think it would be, but I think that prior to us having a sit down together, we definitely had phone conversations, and in those phone conversations, we should be able to get a certain type of vibe. Like the vibe, If they don't want that child or they never did, and that's what they come to and put in their mind, they're not even gonna be open to any of this.
Well, they're
So-
not open if they put them
That's
up for
so-
adoption in the first place.
That's not true, because you might have put a child up for adoption and it could just be because your situation sucks and you can't raise them. Like you physically can't do
That's
it.
true. That's true.
So, that could be the situation, but it could be like, okay, now I'm in a better situation. I would love to meet my child.
Right.
But if the person is still in that same mind frame, you're gonna figure that out.
Right.
Like me as a parent, my child said, hey, I want to meet my biological mom or my biological dad. I'm gonna reach out to them as an adult.
Mhm.
I can get a feel for, I didn't want to fuck with them then, I don't want to fuck with them now. So
But it's
before-
not about you and your
no,
feelings.
I'm saying if I'm getting a vibe from the parents, their biological parents saying like, I still don't want to fuck with that kid. So
I got you.
yeah,
I got you.
I wouldn't even
Okay.
put my kid in that environment. Like I don't know what
I don't
would
put my
say.
I don't want to put my kid in anything. I don't care if it is not completely positive and happy and loving and caring and all of that. If it's not completely that, 18. Because at 18, even at 18, you're still young and dumb and full of but you can still be like, okay, well, you can process.
I just think it's life changing, but the pain is a different type of acceptance.
What do you-
from a kid.
From a kid to 18.
From a kid, not even 18, because at 18 you're still really
Young, a
in
baby.
high school, feeling. So you still not a baby, but you have mature feelings, but you still in your high school, college era. So
Yeah.
you're still, you're not there. I think that either way it goes, whether you tell somebody about that, it's gonna hurt.
It is.
But when you are a grown 25 plus adult,
Mm-hmm.
you have had your own situations, you're grown, regardless if you have kids or you don't have kids, you are able to, even if you wanted to meet them, now you're able to identify your own feelings. You can talk for yourself. You have logical questions to ask, and you're asking from a logical adult standpoint. You're not asking from a hurt child. Even though you're going to have those feelings as a hurt child, but you're asking as an adult.
That's so
Versus
good.
You taking a 8, 10, 12, 16, 18-year-old who is hurting.
A 5 or 7,
It don't
2-year-old.
matter. You take a child under 18, I'll say 21. You take somebody under 21 and you put them in there, she gonna fight her. I'm not about to sit here, where's gonna be an argument because they're hurting.
Who's gonna fight who?
The kid. These kids fight and shoot now.
That is
Okay,
terrible.
but no, think about it. You are gonna hurt. You're let's take a 10-year-old. You're taking a 10-year-old child who is now, either way it go, whether that child is still running around happy, still upbeat, smiling, they're thinking about, damn, my mama did not want me. It don't matter what the fuck she's gonna tell you. I love you, but you're not here with me. You had me, but you still don't want me. But you're telling me that you love me. You tell me that you care. But I don't see no effort. You're doing nothing but telling me a lie. You know what I'm trying to say? So now you have a kid who is sitting here you're looking at this woman, and it's like, well, damn, now it's worse. How would that even matter? And I would have still been hurt. But at least I wouldn't have had to lay eyes on her.
There
and
you
she
go.
looks at me, and she still feels nothing for me. She still, and even if she does feel something for you, it's because, damn, you're realizing
I'm
what
busted.
you did.
I'm busted. You're right here.
No, it's not your busted. You're
No.
realizing you're facing the problem that you did not want.
Uh-huh.
That's it. You did not want the child was a problem. Hence why you gave him up.
Yeah.
So you facing this problem now that you have grown, you have established yourself, you have gone through whatever you've gone through, you have dealt with your problems. Now you're looking at this child that you know you have to answer questions to. You know it's gonna feel some type of way because their mother was not there for them. You know what I'm saying? You're taking this child. No. Let them be grown and deal with that.
That's how I
Because you're an
feel.
adult, you can process that, and bitch, I don't like you for that. I get what you did, but I can't stand you. Versus an 8-year-old kid.
Or
Now,
7 or
you
6.
really can't really grasp the point. So now they're going through life. They have these relationships,
Mhm.
and in the back of their mind, it's gonna. First of all, this abandonment issue is out the window. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
they're picking the wrong friends. You pick the wrong boyfriends. You pick the wrong people to hang around because a little amount of love. Okay, well, they like me. They feel no. You gotta see through stuff like that, and you don't see that because you see, well, they're there for me. They're not, they didn't leave me until something happens, and then they leave, and then it hurts as if somebody is dead. So you rather your child you deal with your shit when you grown, You're
Yeah.
an adult, you can handle yourself, you can fight her if you want to, you can cuss her out if you want to, you can pray with her. Versus a 10-year-old child having to look at, well, is she my mama or is she?
You agree with me?
With what?
Not telling a baby, not telling a
If
child.
you can help it personally, I wouldn't tell them at all. If you can
No,
help
I
it,
don't think it's fair.
If you can help it, do not tell that child.
I don't know
But
about
that
that.
is me.
Like ever in life?
Ever, I don't think I could
Ever.
never do that, but I
Ever.
definitely am not going to mess up a
But if it ain't
baby.
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
If it
I
ain't
know.
broke, if the child is good, he is happy. The child look like y'all, act like y'all, breathe like y'all. Why are you telling them that?
Well, you know what? You would not believe there is a billion people on this planet that feels the same way you do and is actually doing what you say. They adopt and they don't say anything.
I wouldn't.
Now, in my heart, I just
Now,
go
if
with.
you a white woman and
And you got a black child,
which
yeah.
I don't even
Stop.
like.
Stop.
If you a white woman adopting a black child, first of all, that child gonna know the difference.
Yeah, you have to. You're
got
forced
to.
to say that from the beginning.
Right. Not
But
even
like
from the beginning.
Angelina Jolie, she loves all her kids. I believe.
But,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
yeah,
they have their own
yeah.
little.
And she's got every nationality on the planet,
But I'm
correct?
sure
I don't know, but them kids black, so it ain't no question.
Africans, right? But no, she
Her
had
and Madonna.
Asians. But nevertheless, I know she loves her kids. But the thing is with me is, all I know, Shayna, you know I'm a daycare provider. When I look at those babies, and all I know is, no, you are not going to put anything in their heads to make them feel any kind of way. And I'm like this, what you doing? What you doing? I'm trying to protect a child at all the time.
What
So-
I think it is that y'all be caught up on the fact that y'all don't want your child to resent y'all for adopting them. When really the child does not resent y'all, we resent the whole situation. That's what it's resenting. They don't resent y'all. What are we mad at you for?
Resent who?
That's what it's
The biological
The
parent?
adoptive parents.
The adoptive parent.
Why would you ever even resent the adoptive
Well,
parent?
because if you're keeping it, you kept it.
Oh,
from it.
okay.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
So that's what y'all feel like. Well, if I tell them they're not gonna like me because they
Oh.
feel such and such, you are a whole different person. You're your own by yourself. So you're not even in the question. But other people will feel like, damn, maybe if I don't, that's why they probably tell them early so they don't hate you. You know, when you read
Damn.
articles, they say tell them as young as you can.
That's
but
insane.
They don't grow up with that resentment. They don't know. That's what it was. They're scared that then these adopted kids are going to hate me because I have adopted them. No, that's not the case. They're resenting the entire situation. They're resenting
Why would
this lady
that
because
don't
she
sound
said-
right to me. Why would
Think
an
about it.
adopted child hate you for bringing them in and loving them?
Because they're not thinking about bringing
Yeah,
them in.
all they're thinking about is,
Mom,
can I
didn't
trust
want
you
me.
because you've been lying to me this whole time?
That.
Wow.
Now we're gonna.
But
be,
don't actions.
finish.
Oh, sorry.
They're resenting the fact that now they're probably never gonna meet their real family, their biological family.
Mhm.
They're resenting the fact that you probably made them feel as if they're family. Now they're feeling like I'm not family. Because you're telling me I'm adopted, that means I'm not no blood related to y'all. I'm related by law, by legal, by papers, but I'm not related by blood. You know what I'm trying to say? So now you're resenting the entire family because you going around these bastards. And everybody in the room acting like everything cool, like everybody know your secret, but you. You know what I'm trying to say? Now you going in here, everybody know your business, but you the only one that didn't know your own personal business.
Damn.
So now when you do know, you looking at everybody else in the room like I can't stand
None
of you hoes because y'all have sat here in my face for years, smiling, giggling. You look just like your daddy. You lying hoe.
Oh,
You
Jack.
lying hoe. You're a
Damn.
liar. You're doing that. Now this is what you can't help but feel like that.
Yeah.
So now it's like now we're looking at y'all like damn. So you know what I'm trying to say? So what? Why can you? We see you have your other kids. You know what I'm trying to say? Well, what's the difference with me? What made you want just pick one out the bunch? These are just things that we think about, that happens that you think about. You know?
But see, you wouldn't, you or any child, they wouldn't have that in their heads if you never say
But you're gonna
anything.
have it in your head regardless. Whether
At
you're
18,
85 or
no. Like I said, you're gonna hurt either young or you're gonna hurt old. I would rather a person hurt old. Why are you holding all this burden and all of this stuff and all of this everything, this heavy weight on you at a baby, a child at 7? They say, oh, tell them at 2. Start at 2. Girl, boom. They ain't even
2 is
walking,
crazy.
some of them at 2.
Yeah, 2 is
Well,
crazy.
they do walk at 2. But at 3, 4, 5, 6, they can't process that. You're telling them to do what?
But then you have adults that never are able to process things. So that's why it's like if you
Adults?
Yes, some
Yeah.
adults just can't process certain stuff.
Yeah,
They
well then
can
they're just messed.
No,
Uh-oh.
they just have personal things that probably have happened, or they just have a mind. So,
Right.
you know what I'm trying to say? When you have gone, I don't know. Okay, so it's like, because you don't know if I'm tripping, you know, if I'm wrong, or if this is just a hereditary mental thing that has gone through the entire, generation. I just don't know about it because I don't know that. You know what I'm trying to say? So you never know if it's the biological fault that has, a long history, because, mental health can be hereditary sometimes. A long time with mental health on their side, but we all look numb. So I'm, what I'm trying to say? I'm sitting here bipolar as hell. Y'all think I got a bad attitude? I'm bipolar. You know what I'm trying to say? You never know.
Right.
Or it could be things that you may have never told your child they're adopted, but they have experiences that you don't even know about, that they just have dealt with that you don't know, because they can't, certain things as a kid you ain't gonna tell your parents. You know what I'm trying to say? So certain things are probably
That's adopted kids or not.
right. So
You don't tell your parents
certain
that.
things you're just not gonna tell your parents. So it's kind of like certain things will make you mentally think different. Certain situations, like you could be outside with your homegirl, something happened with your homegirl, now you're thinking different. Whether when it's family, friends, at home, at school, outside, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of like you can't say that an adult that can't process something is something mentally wrong, because no, you never know what's wrong. Sometimes like, it's an emotional thing. I can know clearly as to what happened, but my emotions can't process that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You just can't do it. I cannot. I'm taking a 33-year-old woman. My mom, not my mom. You're an adult, so it's like, okay, you understand everything, but your emotions are like, what the fuck is this going on with me?
Yeah.
What the hell? Why? This, that, and the third. I hate everybody. I can't stand this. Everything. You're gonna feel it, but you're an adult, and you're able to
handle it.
and you're kind of, and it's like, not even handle, because either way I go,
You gonna hurt, but you can look. All I know is
get pushed through it, not quicker, because it's never gonna be quick, but
you can handle it better.
smoother after that.
Handle it better, smooth, handle, whatever. It's just like if I was to hit her at 4 like this, she'd be like, just fall or push her down.
She's gonna fall.
Yeah, it's like, you're just acting a real whole fool, because it's like, oh my gosh, she just pushed me down. It's like, she hates me, the world hates me, all of this. Let me push her down at 18. It's gonna be a whole different process. Push your ass down, you're like, why did you do that? I'm gonna push you back.
Sometimes
Cut your brain.
Huh? You get no question asked. You just get hit back.
There you go. It's a reaction, boom, boom. But you can't do anything. As a child is supposed to be protected. It's supposed to be happy.
But every situation is different. Not every case is closed. Not
every child is a child to me,
but
though.
every child is a different child.
Yeah, they are.
And every situation is different. Some, want to come back, spin the block, try to have a relationship with the kid. They might want to do it. The biological parents say,
Right.
I'm better,
All situations are different.
I don't want, to take him fully away, but I do want to be a part.
Right.
Now they got your kid looking at you crazy.
Right. And so now you all y'all have to deal with that.
To me, but to me, if I was in a position like that, all I know is that, and I know it gets biblical, guys. I'm not trying to get biblical on you, but love conquers all. If you have a child and you raise that child and you do everything, let that child know that you love, care, you protect, you will die for them, you will do anything. That child, as they grow, they see it. They see everything. They process it.
But you,
and when they get 18, no matter what's going on, they might resent you. They might distance themselves. They might not like what you did or said, or they might want to go even have a relationship with the biological parent or the biological siblings or whatever the case they may be. In the Bible, it says, teach a child in which they should grow, and they will take it. They will keep it with them. Just teach a child, grow them up the way they need to grow. Once you have put that love in that child, it might be some stuff that go on in this world, but once you put that good stuff down in them, they're going to remember it. They're gonna know.
It depends, because even if they don't know about that situation, there's other situations that will strip you of any and everything you got. Rape, sexual assault happens,
Mhm.
robbery happens, anything can happen to you, whether it be an adoption, whether it be, anything can happen. So you can't really say that. I mean, you can say it because I get what you are trying
I
to say.
was just
like,
gonna
if
say.
you do love a child. Kids do, you do grow up, but you can't always say that because sometimes you can fill a child with love and then they grow up and still be depressed. They still feel alone. They still have thoughts.
And that's going to be our next podcast is loneliness. You're absolutely right about that. You can get all the love in the world and you can still feel lonely inside. However, what I do know, and I'm going to say from experience, love conquers all. If you are protected, you are loved, you are cared for.
So why people continue to still kill themselves when they are protected, when
Yeah.
they are loved, when they are everything.
I don't agree with love conquers all.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm saying it the wrong way.
No, you said
No,
I get what you're saying.
but even they kill themselves, and because I can't really relate or probably give a proper answer for this because I never have these kind of thoughts.
Because you are lonely, you are alone on the inside. You don't have peace. There's no peace within yourself. And at the end of the day, you can have peace with everybody in the world.
Mhm.
You can be the most peaceful woman, but when you don't have peace with yourself, you're not at peace. Because you have to go to bed at war. You're
Mhm.
waking up at war. You can't tell nobody because of everybody's presenting you to be peaceful and happy and a peacemaker. So you can't come around and tell people, I am feeling this way. What? No. People are going to look at you different. People are going to, no.
Hmm.
So you have to continue to deal with these things. You have to continue to keep a decent look, keep a decent everything, because if you don't, they're either going to talk about it, they're going to bring God into it, which is just so annoying, because if that's the case, God won't allow a lot of things to happen if it happened. But I'm not saying faith is faith. It depends on the person. But
Right.
you cannot bring God into everything. You can't say love conquers all when it don't, because if love conquered all,
A lot of stuff wouldn't happen if it was love there. I get it, but I guess I'm old school, and I believe that,
Y'all just believe in having the love and being in struggle.
No, I think
Because that's what
Shut
it
your
says.
ass.
You can take stuff and say, well, we dealt with it and we overcame with it. My husband cheated on me for 15 years. But by the grace of God. That's struggle.
Nah.
He done beat you.
No, ma'am.
He did this, he done did that to you throughout these entire 15 years and you still love God.
yeah, because where's the love, baby?
Exactly.
Like,
He done beat you.
everything is not love. Like, it's perceived as love, and that's not what it is. So when you say like love conquers all, yeah, I can't. Mm-mm.
It conquers some things, but not everything.
My son believes the same as like you. I believe love conquers all. I believe that a child should be absolutely protected, and as a child, let them grow. Don't put anything on them that is not necessary. So certain things are necessary. You need to say.
I agree.
Certain things are they're just not necessary at that time. But our guest does not believe that you should tell them ever. You don't believe that you should tell them. I believe that absolutely you should tell them that. You just gotta know. You just gotta know. However, I just believe a child you gotta be older so you can process it, so you can handle it. I don't want to put a weight on. That's just like one of my daycare children, which is 5 and under. I go and get a 50-pound bell ball weight and say, here, hold this for me, Jace. And he pick it up and the thing just go down with him. Why would you do that? You know he can't hold that daggone 50-pound weight. Don't do that. Don't put weight on a child. But it's just me. It doesn't make it right, but that's my opinion. I'm going to protect my children, and I protect my grown children. And I'm sure some of you out there still do. But my little babies, my daycare kids and little bitty kids, I'm going to protect them at all costs. And that's just how I feel. But, guys, if y'all feel different, what do you think? Should you tell a child something at an early age and I don't want to say it in a bad way, but get it out of the way, or to get them prepared? Because I don't know, prepare for what? They don't understand at 5. What? Let them grow. But whatever the case may be, do you think you should tell them at an early age? Or should you tell them as an adult, even though Don't get it twisted. We realize that pain, hurt, feelings, everything is going to be there from the beginning or in the adult time. It's going to be there. What do you think? I really, really, really would love, y'all don't even have to say a whole bunch. I just would like for you guys to put in the comments, early, late, early, late. If y'all don't want to type a lot, because people don't, I just want to know, I really would like to do a poll on who thinks you should tell a child something at an early age or a late age. What do you think, Shayna?
You already know what I think, Sharon.
So,
I'm gonna go and tell my kids. And we can deal with it as it comes. But
Yeah.
at least you won't say, hey,
I didn't tell you.
your mama's a liar.
Yeah. So, with that said, feel the rumble, guys, and
Listen to the roar, and we'll see you guys next week.
all right, bye-bye.
Bye.